Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the week of March 3rd. This week, we're going to jump right in here. You have this Deep Breath card and this Burst of Magic card. I love that card. Definitely says that, some good things could be happening for you at this time. I think everybody needs to take a deep breath at this week. I'm only like 5 readings in, but, it seems to be like a very active week, or there just could be a lot going on. And I don't mean that in a bad way. The readings have been very positive, but, it's like there could be much more movement. You even have this card that says it's time to take action. And so, you might need a break or you might need to take a deep breath at times this week. And it definitely makes sense based off the energy that I have been getting in all the readings. And damn, this is a really good reading here, Virgo. And what did I call you at the beginning of this reading? I don't know. I hope I called you Virgo, but for some reason, I feel like I said Aries. So sorry if I called you Aries at the beginning of this reading, but you also could be dealing with an Aries because it popped into my head just now. But, again, very good reading. You start with the Ace of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the Death card. Like I said, a lot of movement. The trick with the Ace of Cups is, sure, it could represent love. Not really a love reading yet. That could change as we clarify. I think love is always available to us. But, based off of everything that's going on here, I feel like the Ace of Cups is talking about paying attention to the flow. I'm pretty sure almost every single person this week so far has had the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups says we have to pay attention to things that are working. And I know that sounds obvious, but really people don't do it, right? And you end with the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is my card of creating a slip and slide in life. I think that's like the best analogy for the Eight of Wands. In life, we are on a slip and slide, and I tell people to make it as slippery as possible, to remove as much friction as you possibly can. So with the Eight of Wands, we have to look at those places in our life where we are slowing down, or the situations, the people, the places, the things that get in our way, that create friction, that prevent us from flowing, basically. And I feel that is what the Ace of Cups is talking about. It's saying, look at the things in your life that just aren't working and either smooth them out, right? You don't have to eliminate something. You can make it easier, or you can do something to improve the situation, or you can leave. And that's really what I feel this card is saying in your reading. You have the Knight of Wands. I mean, it's an amazing time for exploration. We are literally just in a time of exploration. I think the people that are going to be successful between now and 2033 are going to be the people that are just open to new ideas, new ways of doing things, the people that are willing to teach themselves things as well, the people who are willing to learn. And those are the energies that I would work with the Knight of Wands, plain and simple. You have the Death card. Yeah, it's clear to me we're in a time of change. I mean, again, everybody has had the Death card or the Temperance card or both. You have both in your reading. So we are in a time of transformation and change, and I feel the people that, again, learn through the changes with the Knight of Wands are going to be the people that succeed. So just learn. That's it. Let's see. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Seven of Wands here. Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. With the Ace of Cups, this would also represent kind of protecting the things that are working in your life with that Ace of Cups. So anything that is worth having, I would, put boundaries up around it, or make sure that you are protecting it, whatever it is. Plain and simple again. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Six of Swords. Yeah, exploring the other way of doing things. Six of Swords, moving on to calmer shores. The woman and the child in this boat, they have nothing on their back, right? They are not bringing anything with them but the clothing on their backs across the choppy waters. And they're doing this for the hopes of a brighter future. And so the Six of Swords, it's a good card, but I always think of the Six of Swords as a little bit scary because they are completely letting go of everything that they have known for the hopes of a brighter future. And again, a lot of you could be doing some exploring right now to find a better future. This could be in work or business. You have the sun and the star right next to each other in this reading. So, if you want to stand out, or if you want to be on social media, for example, or if you want to have a job where you get attention, this could be you exploring those possibilities, which is good. With the Death card, you have the King of Pentacles here. Yeah, you do have, I thought so. You have the Queen of Pentacles as well. So if you want love, you've had a Taurus in your reading forever. So some of you could be dealing with a Taurus. I do think Virgo Taurus is a good match, by the way. So, if you have a Taurus, this could be good for you. But these two are divine counterparts. Those two together are also amazing for work. The Queen of Pentacles is kind of like the practical side of things, and the King of Pentacles is like the skill. So it's kind of like saying that something that you're working on, you have like the practical thinking that is needed to like plan things out and to also find the resources to make something happen, but you also have the skills to be successful, is what the King of Pentacles is saying. It kind of makes me think that maybe some of you haven't started something yet because it's like you're wondering if you have those two things in balance, and I would say yes. Can't make this up. I mean, this is crazy. You have this Metamorphosis card, which you always get butterflies, and this card with me, which is nuts. It says your inner self is being renewed day by day, so new and better ways can come forth. You have this Dolphin Spirit. It says stop taking life so seriously and splash some joy in your everyday life. Yes, every single person for the March monthly readings that I just did had something in their reading about being more playful. You even have the Page of Wands in this row, which we'll talk about. But the Page of Wands is very like happy-go-lucky energy. The Page of Wands is going on an adventure just because he is enthusiastic about the adventure. He's not putting too much pressure on the outcome. He's not saying, this thing that I'm going to get started on has to go this way. He is saying, I'm just going to see how it goes, and I'm going to have fun while I do it. And I think that would be a good mindset for you, Virgo. I might have even said this in your monthly reading. So, definitely something to pay attention to. You have the Queen of Pentacles. She is very resourceful. I've been saying since, 2016-ish, somewhere around there, that if we want to do something, we're probably not going to have the resources to do it. Or, meaning we might not have the money to do it. But the trick is right now we have to get started anyway, even if we don't have the money to do it. So we have to think, like if you have a business idea, or maybe you want to move to a foreign country right now or something like that. It's like you have to get started. When you get started, you're proving to the universe that you really want it. So even if that means you have to start at a very small level, that is the trick with the Queen of Pentacles, and I would definitely get started. You have the Page of Wands, again, very happy-go-lucky energy here. Now, we have the Knight of Wands holding on to one wand, Page of Wands holding on to one wand, and we have the Ace of Wands, which is one wand. Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new. So it seems to me like you are kind of like focused on something new. The trick with the Ace of Wands and the Page of Wands is that the Ace of Wands is only a spark. It is, you have to keep putting wood on that fire to get it to grow. And so the Page of Wands, we have to keep feeding something by continuing to follow our enthusiasm, which is also kind of similar to following the flow with the Ace of Cups. If you do something and it works, keep doing it. I always use the example of this channel, not to talk about myself too much, but it's like when I started this channel, I had another business. I thought that other business was going to get me to where I wanted to go, right? And if I was paying attention, I probably would have doubled down on this channel like much, much sooner, right? But I wasn't paying attention. So again, I'm a perfect example. People don't pay attention to what's working. My other business, it was like working, but it really wasn't if I really think about it. This was working very clearly. For the first 4 years of this channel, I really wasn't trying hard enough, right? Like I wasn't putting in enough effort. And once I did, number one, it was like easy effort. Like it's not hard for me to do this. I enjoy doing this every single day. Like if I didn't want to do this, I wouldn't. Plain and simple, right? And so it was very clear if I paid attention to the evidence what was flowing in my life. So that's what I mean by flow. Is like there could be something going, like this little V in your reading here. It's like it could be something that you work on, or it could be part of your work as well. Like maybe you have a job, but you only enjoy like 20% of what you do. It's like, how can you take that 20% and turn it into a business? Or how can you go to your boss and be like, what, I'm really good at doing this. Like, why don't you just let me do that? And I don't know, you might be surprised. You have the Star. The Star, of course, is a great card and a card of hope, faith, and renewal. I look at the Ace of Wands as like somewhat similar because the Ace of Wands can be a spark of inspiration, and it can be something that kind of gives you hope. And so I feel for a lot of you that there could be like something happening, like an inspiration this week that gives you hope or makes you feel hopeful. And again, with the Ace of Cups, I would follow the flow, right? With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Seven of Swords, makes perfect sense. Seven of Swords is about doing something in a different way. A lot of people read this card as lying, cheating, stealing, and you have the Magician pointing down to the Devil. So, number one, if you are dealing with a person who seems sneaky, they probably are, and I would avoid that person. But the Seven of Swords is a good card. It is a golden card. He is stealing these swords from this army in the background, and like I said with the Queen of Pentacles, you might not have the resources to do something, but how can you do it anyway? Is there a way to do something that you want to do in a different way? And that's what I would be looking at with the Seven of Swords. With the Page of Wands, you have the Ten of Swords. I just feel like you're leaving something behind. I think with the Six of Swords and the Ten of Swords that you are kind of moving on from something. Ten of Swords says you're ready for a next stage. It is a card that says something is dead, done, over with, but I feel you're just kind of ready to go to the next stage. With the Star card, you have the Four of Swords. I do feel like everybody needs to take care of themselves extra right now, probably all year. So, I think I said this the other day, like on a collective reading. So, I feel everyone needs to kind of just take extra good care of yourself. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this card. It says it's time to take action. Yes. You have this card. It says it's time for healing. Probably both. So action and healing with these two cards. You have the Ace of Wands, the Magician, and the Sun. The Ace of Wands is what you have to take action on. The Ace of Wands is usually an inspiration. I always say, to me, tarot, people always ask why I don't read reversals. And number one, because I read intuitively. Number two, I give reverse meanings all the time. Number three is because, to me, tarot is like a spectrum. It's like every card can be positive or negative, and, it can be anywhere in between, right, energetically. The challenge with the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands is that they might not have a good reason for doing what they're doing. They might be inspired to do something, but the world might call them crazy because they might have a crazy idea to start some sort of business or to move to a foreign country. I don't know. That what popped into my head earlier, and it keeps popping into my head. So someone wants to do that. But they might have a crazy idea that other people don't understand. The trick with those two cards is that they have to do it anyway. They're being inspired to do something for a reason. And I kind of feel you need to hear that, Virgo, that you are being inspired to do something for a good reason. And, no matter how crazy the idea may seem, I think that, you don't have to overly commit to this either. You just can give it a little bit of energy, put wood on the fire and see if it grows, right? And if it grows and flows with the Ace of Cups, keep going because, that is a clue from the universe that you're going in the right direction. You have the Magician. The Magician says you can have whatever you want. Magician is also about your tools that you are using. He has mastery over all the suits in the tarot. And so if one way to do something isn't working, this basically says you probably have a different tool that could get the job done. This could be like a skill. It could be your mindset. It could be changing your mindset. But, I feel there's a lot of ways. There are probably more ways than you think to accomplish something difficult right now, and I would just explore it, just see what you can do. You have the Sun. The Sun is the best card in the deck, makes the whole entire reading more positive. I feel like there is a lot of positivity and happy energy coming in for you with the Sun. I also feel there's guidance. The Sun shines a light on something that you need to pay attention to, so I would pay attention with the Sun. I feel like the Sun is guiding you, and probably through joy. The Sun, I always say, is like a spotlight in a reading. It can shine a light on something, meaning our attention is being drawn to something, and I would pay attention to your attention. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Again, yes. I'm really surprised that, that the Chariot isn't in this reading, because the Chariot says where there's a will, there's a way. If you want something bad enough, you will make it happen. And that's kind of the feeling the two queens here are giving me. If you want something bad enough, I feel that you will make it happen, plain and simple. With the Magician, you have the Seven of Pentacles. So we have two sevens going this way. Two sevens to me is internal fears that don't exist. So I do feel you have to let go of your fears. Seven of Pentacles is also a change in direction. We kind of already know that there's a change in direction with the Six of Swords here. So you could be changing direction. I feel like this has been coming up for you for months. Really, I feel that Virgos are changing direction in work. I think that really it's a reinvention, which we've definitely been talking about for months. And, the reason these messages repeat is because obviously we don't just change overnight, right? And so I think this is something that you have been developing for a long time with that. The magician is like how you want to appear to other people. And so this could have to do with like your identity. With the sun, you have the Five of Cups. Turn that frown upside down, Virgo. This is about, Five of Cups, he's grieving the loss of something he no longer enjoys. But really, if he asked himself, if he really wanted to do something that he's focused on over here, he would say no. And there's something much better right here, these two cups, which lead to this bridge and this castle. So, I wonder if there is something work-wise that you're doing that you don't really want to do if you really think about it. It's like maybe you tell yourself you want to do it because it makes money, but, there might be something better that you want to do, and that's kind of what I would think about here. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this financial freedom card. It says, when you are financially free, your lack of money no longer defines the limitations of your life. Sure. You have this envy card. It says, focusing on what others have is draining on your energy. Now, this is coming up in the good stuff, so you're probably not doing that anymore. Maybe you did do that in the past, but I do feel this is something that has maybe changed in your life, which is great. You have the Eight of Wands, the Temperance card, and the Devil. The Eight of Wands is quick success or like a quick conclusion. Eight of Wands is also your focus, and focus seems to be very important in your reading here. So I would make sure you're focusing on what you want. I also feel that, again, creating those slip and slides in life. I would look at the places in your life where you experience the most friction and think about how you can basically transform those situations into something better with the Temperance card. Temperance is turning one thing into another, alchemy. So I feel you have the power, especially with the Magician, to turn your situations around and anything that's slowing you down. The other interesting thing is that you have the Temperance card over the Devil. It's like the angel and the devil right here. So I feel a lot of you could be kind of overcoming toxic situations, or you could be removing bad habits. You could be conquering bad habits in your life. The Devil in the good stuff could also say you're getting to work. The Devil is Saturn and Capricorn. And so, the Devil can just represent working on something. Sometimes I think that the Devil is really creativity, believe it or not, because these two people, they have these animal horns on their heads. And the animal horns on their heads represents their baser instincts, or root chakra energy. And it says they have to take that energy, that creative force, and they have to bring it up to their head and express it into the world. So there might be something that's more creative that you want to be doing with your life. And you do have a lot of cards like that. I mean, Page of Wands, Knight of Wands, Ace of Wands, Magician. Those are all cards that are very creative in some way. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Eight of Cups. Yeah, this would be about walking away from what no longer serves you. So there are definitely going to be some things that slow you down that you are going to be removing from your life with the Eight of Cups. That makes sense. With the Temperance card, you have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is about getting curious. I feel everybody needs to do this. Explore, like I said with the Knight of Wands, try new ways of doing things. Explore alternative solutions to problems that you're dealing with, or not even problems, right? I would be looking at all that. With the Devil, you have the Queen of Swords here. The Queen of Swords is about clarity, especially in the good stuff. She only has clouds halfway up her body, and it represents the fact that she can see clearly for the first time. So a lot of you could be gaining a lot of clarity, or you could be seeing things more clearly. You have this Dolphin card. It says financial gain usually coming from something you did in the past. I feel this is like a skill. I've said this to you a million times with the Magician. It's you have a skill from back in the day that could make you money. And I think you need to kind of revisit some of your skills because they could be very beneficial. You have this Heart card. It says love, deep affection, and caring. So, a lot of you could be experiencing this. I feel like there could be a good social energy here for you as well. So if you're needing support or if you're needing connection, I feel there are plenty of people who want connection with you. And not just love, family, friends, things like that. You have this February card and you have this Wreath card. It says sorrow over a loss. You could have experienced a loss in February, and I feel a lot of you could be moving past that with the Ten of Swords showing up here. Ten of Swords, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, can be a loss, but the Ten of Swords can also represent a blessing in disguise. So some of you could be seeing how, that it's a blessing, something that you went through basically. You have this card. It says you are highly thought of. So you have cards of attention here, Sun and the Star. which would represent you standing out. I would definitely. I think everybody needs to stand out right now because of Pluto and Aquarius, but it's coming up in your reading, so I would take extra advantage of any opportunities for attention, for standing out, for getting attention, any of that stuff. Finally, you have this card that says danger, especially in money matters. Yeah, money looks good. You have that card that says financial gain, but I say to everybody right now that we shouldn't just be spending money like crazy. We should definitely be keeping an eye on our finances. But overall, really good here, Virgo. I like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.